Good morning. Welcome to the Friday show. We are just making sure we are live because I was booted off of Facebook for a while. So we're double checking here to see. Jen, let me know. Anybody out there? Let me know. Are you there? Oh, I see one heart. There we are. Yes, Heather, I'm back. As of like 2 in the morning, I finally got access back to my account. Those of you who don't know, I didn't get kicked off for being a breeder, which so many are. That was not in my case. I didn't have double, and if you don't have this either, please go do this today. I didn't have double factor authorization on my personal account. And see, my personal account is tied to my 3 business accounts, 4E Kennels, Badass Breeder, Healing Hearts. And then it's also connected to, so I could cross post to my business Instagram, 4E Kennels. Someone hacked into my account on my birthday. They changed everything, and then they went and started posting child exploitation, sexual content, like super, super inappropriate stuff. So I didn't see the emails, but I had, at the time, I don't think I could have stopped it anyway. Maybe I could have, but I was at my birthday dinner, y'all, and I get home and it was like, oh, what happened? So it literally, your account's been, you've changed your phone number, you changed your email, your request to add more to your ad spending was denied. They did spend $448 to push these inappropriate ads, which I cannot get back. So I lost almost $500. And then it was, your account's been compromised, and then you have been suspended for breaking community standards. So here, social media for us business owners is a double-edged sword, and it's even more difficult as a breeder because they're very anti-breeder. But what happened was I was able to prove it was my account. I sent a picture of my passport, and they're like, yep, your account was compromised, log back in, and it's all kind of automated, right? You're not literally talking to anybody. And so got all that done thinking, oh, thank God. And then it literally turned around and said, you've been suspended. You're under review. And at that point, you don't even know if you're getting your accounts back. And so I had lost my Instagram, 4E Kennels, that was gone, never knowing if I'd get it back. I do house a lot of personal pictures on my Facebook that I didn't have anywhere else. And my dummy self, I have 3 business pages on Facebook, 3, and I'm a control freak, so I never gave admin privileges to 4E Kennels. I gave moderator privilege to Jen, thank God. I gave moderator privilege to my Badass Breeder, someone else that helps me with the social media. And then I let Jen be admin on Healing Hearts. So literally, if I wouldn't have been able to get back in, like if they would have like completely disabled me, I would have never ever had rights to 4E Kennels page again. Like you just don't ever get it back. I had Jen as a moderator, so we were able to post still. That's why we were able to still push content through Jen's account because Jen was a moderator. So God love Jen. She literally just gave me her personal login information for her Facebook. Sorry, Jen, I'm telling everybody. So that I could go in and at least publish and push content, continue to connect with you on 4E Kennels. But it was really, really scary. I realized like you have to. So if any of my businesses are out there watching right now, please make sure you have an admin, someone you trust. It does have to be someone you trust because they can do anything to your account. And like what was really scary was I have a store set up in 4E Kennels. Well, guess what? The moderator doesn't have any access to that. You guys, people could have been buying stuff and we had no access. I just kept thinking, oh Lord, no one buy anything right now because I can't see your order. I can't do anything about it. I couldn't close down my store. Like super, super difficult for business owners who have something like this happen. So anyway, yeah, and good. Heather, she moderated the 4E Kennel family because I couldn't get into I run and I'm a part of 16 groups, and I couldn't get into any of those either. So thank God I had some moderators in there so they could, I could say, let them know, you got to keep watch on stuff. I'm out. Like I can't see anything. I can't post anything. So goodness sakes, that's another thing. If you run a group, make sure you give somebody or more than one person the proper authority to not only, so here was the other thing too, since we're having a Facebook lesson first. If I would have never got my personal stuff back, so 4E Kennels Facebook page would have remained though, because it is a business page. So that would have remained, Badass Breeder would have remained. And of course, Healing Hearts Jen was already admin. Even if I made another account, which I did do, Jen could never give me admin rights or anybody else that 4E kennel page. So like we literally would have never had access to that page again other than posting. That would have been it. Like we couldn't do anything with the store. I would have had to hope people didn't buy, or if they did, they'd complain after a while, like I didn't get it. Like, well, I didn't get it either, so I'm sorry. The good thing is if you make someone admin, they can make someone else admin. So you are double protected. You know, they can, you know, we were already planning a worst case scenario if I wasn't able to get my stuff back. You know, like there was no way for me to ever become admin again, you know. So anyway, it was really eye-opening, really frustrating because of hackers. It was proven I was hacked, and I still lost. And unfortunately, social media is a big part of our business. So, you know, every day you're not on, you're losing money essentially. You know, you're not creating content, you're not connecting with people. From a business side of it, it's really, really scary. So anyway, that's that. I'm back, and I hope I got double factor authorization on my stuff. And even another little app that the double factor code doesn't even come from Facebook. It comes from another app. So it would be really, really, really difficult now for someone to get into my personal account. Yeah, anyway. Okay. Happy Friday. Welcome to the Friday show. Of course, I'm Jeanette with 4E Kennels. Today we're going to talk about the 12 temperament traits that we focus on in evaluating our puppies. Do puppies have more than 12 temperament traits? Absolutely. But what I have found are these are the 12 that I've narrowed it down and tweaked and changed and trial and error, and this has taken me over 10 years to truly put together this puppy aptitude test and then be able to try it again and again and again and check in with clients and check in with my service dog prospects and my facility, my therapy. What did I do wrong? What could I have done better? What did I miss on the evaluation? So it's been this huge thing that I've been tracking and learning. And now, of course, I teach other breeders this evaluation. But I thought it would be really important today to discuss what are the 12 traits and like what does that mean to clients, because sometimes you get that compatibility report or my notes on the evaluation and you're kind of like, well, what does this really mean to me? Like, I don't understand what this looks like from this puppy. What would that look like to live with this puppy? So we're just going to kind of hash through that today. If you have any questions, of course, let me know. Let's go over the 12 traits that we focus on. This is right from my software. So the 12 we focus on is assertiveness, confidence, because sometimes that can be a little different. Sometimes it's very squishy and they definitely complement each other. Motivation level, how much does that puppy want to work? Nerve strength, touch tolerance, energy level, sound and sight sensitivity, those are two different ones. Play drive, human focus, tender-hearted, and dog friendliness. So we're gonna tackle these one at a time, and I'm just gonna explain to you, well, what does this look like? How did the puppy show us that they're assertive, and what does that mean taking that kind of puppy home? So of course, continue to drop any questions on the chat side, and I'll watch for those as well. All right, let's talk about assertiveness. Number one, the first thing. So when we set up our testing area, and you know, we start our evaluations, we do it generally in the same order. The assertiveness one, that's looking at the entire evaluation. We're watching the puppy. What does an assertive puppy mean? What does that mean? So other words we might use is they're really bossy, they're really self-assured, and they take what they want when they want it without regard to how polite they are being. And even when you translate that and look at a human, assertive people, it's very, very similar, right? Some people love assertive people, like get to the point, matter of fact. Other times I know in my life I felt like an assertive person kind of came in very quickly and left, and I kind of was left thinking, did I just get bulldozed? Like, and assertiveness isn't bad, but sometimes it will rub you the wrong way, you know? And that can be for puppies too. Assertiveness, So what we see in the video is they're constantly challenging Jenna's space, right? They'll jump right on her face. They'll even try to mouth her face. They'll pull on her hair. They're pulling on her clothes, like really, really assertive. They may initially approach her nice, so we don't score that right away. There's always that, okay, like let me get my bearings, let me feel good in the situation, and then the game is on, right? So we're looking at how much does that puppy challenge Jenna's space just innately. They take what they want when they want it. They're fairly strong-willed. Strong-willed can go with assertive. Why would we want or not want an assertive puppy? Because there is no bad puppy. All of these traits we're looking for depending on what kind of puppy we're looking for. So assertiveness, for example, I really like to have for a diabetic alert dog. Diabetic alert dogs are the only service dog that work without a command, verbal or physical. They have to just constantly be sniffing, right? So, and I need an assertive enough dog that will work and then also let the owner know your blood sugar's high, I'll wake you up. You're not giving me my treat. I'm going to get rough with you. You're in bed, right? Can you see now how assertiveness is really, really needed in some situations? Some people just prefer that walk in the room and own it personality in a dog. Like they're drawn toward that. They love that. Where can it be challenging in homes? Where could assertiveness be challenging? Go ahead, and if you can think of anything, drop that in there. But I am going to tell you. I want you thinking, how could that be a problem? This is where we look at assertiveness. First-time dog owner. If you don't know what you're doing, that dog definitely is not going to tolerate you not knowing what you're doing, and they're going to just take care of stuff, right? Like it's not going to matter. They're just going to take care of business. It can be very, very challenging with a new owner. Number two, children, because they're just challenging their space constantly. Is it a mean puppy? No, it's not a mean puppy. It's their temperament. They are assertive. This is an analogy I give my clients. If your child is holding a piece of pizza, right, at level of the puppy or the dog, an assertive puppy is just going to walk right up to them and grab the pizza out of their hand, like no second thought, no hesitation. Hey, I want that. Thank you very much. Can you train that dog not to do that? Absolutely you can. But that's what they're naturally going to do. That's the natural challenge. A more submissive puppy may look to the left, look to the right, look at you, look back at that pizza, walk a little bit, look back around, and then gently go up, open their mouth, and grab the pizza ever so gently. Hope they get away with it, and then leave. There's a difference of that, like, boom, mine, and I will just take it, however, versus a more, submissive puppy. Some people don't like that either. When I need a dog to be self-assured, make a decision, and make it happen, I need an assertive dog. So that is assertiveness. And so the difficulty with that puppy when we look at matching or talking to an owner is, are you a soft owner naturally? Do you have, even if you're not a new owner, are you a soft owner? Do you have a hard time in your life setting boundaries, saying no, dealing with other assertive people in your life? Like, do they just kind of walk all over you? Then this is not a puppy for you, because that's exactly what will happen. Like, they will. And they will challenge more. And your variable level of correction has to be higher. It has to go above a puppy's intensity to even matter or make a difference. Otherwise, it's not a consequence. It's not a correction. You're actually telling them to do it more. They're like, all right, yeah, fine, all right. Like, oh, okay, well, if that's my consequence, I'm just going to do it again. Like, it has to be above their intensity. The correction has to be short and brief and to the point, stare and freeze. Your submissive puppy, it might be one of those dogs you just look at them like, and they're like, okay, I'm so sorry. Your assertive puppy's going to be like, oh, I'm going to wait till mom walks out of the room kind of thing, right? We love those puppies too. But they make movies about them. Marley, isn't it Marley, the dog that was just like, so full of life. These puppies have some spunk, man. They're little pistols, I call them. You're a little pistol. All right, that's assertive. And then we look at in the testing how much So whether you buy from me, whether you're going to buy from another empowered breeder, this is all the same test we're all using. This is all the same lingo and language. This is all how we are evaluating these puppies to give them a voice and help guide you to get that puppy you need and you want. Something as simple as one temperament trait can make a world of difference. A lot of dogs are rehomed because they're assertive and they were placed incorrectly, right? People don't know how to handle them. They're out of control. They're crazy. They don't listen to anything I say. It's because you're not providing to this puppy. And typically, not all the time, assertive and high energy go together. And those two reasons alone put more dogs in the shelter than any other temperament trait. Fear's number 3. Okay, there's our assertive. What's our next one? Confidence. So typically an assertive puppy has confidence, right? But not always. They still may want to get what they want, but like in a new situation, they may struggle with confidence. Confidence is another trait we look at during the entire test that we perform. So a lot of that's body language. Are they kind of army crawling? Do they have to keep taking things in? Like, how confident and self-assured are they when moving through the test? This is also incredibly important for service dog work. We need a highly confident dog. Less confident, more submissive too. Puppies, you see the confidence and assertiveness can really play off of each other, tend to be more prone to becoming fearful because they already have that like lack of self-assuredness. Like, I'm not sure, I don't totally believe in my abilities. And people naturally then will rescue the puppy when they show that. And that's absolutely the wrong thing to do. Then that puppy continues to lose confidence. Confidence is an unstable trait, which means we have a hand. We have a hand in a dog's confidence. I mean, isn't that so incredibly amazing and powerful? We have a hand, a role to play in the confidence of a dog. I could send home a fairly confident puppy, but still need some reassurance. And if they're not getting that, and in fact, if they're being coddled and rescued and never shown that it's okay, they absolutely could have fear issues. So the placement is really, really important. And this is why I talk so much about giving a puppies a voice in their placement. So if I do have that puppy that does lack in a little bit of confidence, they're still a little unsure about things, they don't completely believe in their own abilities, the conversation with the client is really, really important. Are you good still working and building on confidence? You cannot let them get out of something because they're unsure of it. And you definitely cannot coddle them. You have to continue to empower and not enable them. Our human nature wants to rescue. We feel better about ourselves when we can rescue the puppy that's terrified of the vacuum, right? We turn off the vacuum, put it away, and pick up our puppy. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. But all we're literally saying when we're petting and telling them that is, you absolutely should have feared that vacuum. It was going to eat you. But that's not what we're trying to portray, but that's absolutely what we are portraying to a canine. They are a different species. So instead, you're afraid of the vacuum. Well, heck, now the vacuum's going to sit in the middle of the floor for the next 3 days, and we're going to play games around it, and I'm going to feed you by it, and then we're going to turn it on and let it just sit there, because noise and movement are sight and sound sensitivity are two different things we have to manage. So now the thing makes noise and it moves. So let's just go back to the thing itself. No noise, no movement. Feed and play by the vacuum till they're completely comfortable and the vacuum doesn't mean anything. Now I'm going to just turn it on and let it sit randomly throughout the day. If the dog startles and leaves, I'm not going to turn the vacuum off because then I'm reassuring their fear. So it's just in the way in which we manage, and this is why I cannot. My life's mission, truly my life's mission, is to be the voice for our puppies and then help educate their client. This is what this means. This is what this will look like. Do you feel comfortable raising this kind of puppy? My clients will say no, no, I'm not. I want the high confident, high assertive puppy. And other people are like, well, I don't want the high confident, high energy puppy, or high assertive, high energy puppies. So having this conversation with clients, giving them the ability to see in the video itself a difference between a high confidence and a low confidence puppy. You're like, whoa, I can't believe that. Like, I cannot believe how different that test was. Number 3, motivation level. All right, what is their motivation level and why the heck would we want to know that? Yeah, and Heather said confident puppies aren't afraid of much. And that's right. Like they just walk up to everything like it's no big deal. Puppies that are lacking confidence will question an object they don't know. So that's the other reason why we send home the empowering word. It's a gift. It truly is a gift to you and our puppies. Yes. When we're raising them through their curriculum, when they are brave, when they can approach, when yes, you can trust me, yes, you can do this, we say yes, yes, yes. And then it starts to imprint and they know. So the first time you take your puppy home and put them on the floor and they're like, whoa, this is a whole new place. You're like, yes, look at you. Check you out. You got this. You are safe. You can do this. Yes. And then they go and they explore and they smell the other dog. Yes, yes, yes. And it means so much. A 3-letter word means so much. So having this cohesive language from the breeder to the owner is empowering. Motivation level, trainability, man. Does this dog have the motivation to learn and work with a human? I need to know their motivation level, or just how much they're like, I'm going to just go do my own thing. That's good for families that work all the time. The puppies that are a little more independent, great if you work all day. But our high motivated puppies, this really kind of equates to training. And so knowing what kind of placement we have, or if you want an agility dog, or you want your therapy dog, or you just love dog training, don't pick a low motivated puppy. Every puppy has its value. It's either going to be food, people, or a toy. So figuring out its highest motivating factor to do something is really, really important, number one. And then number two is how much of a motivation do they really have? Or are they just more self-serving? Like, do they look at you and they be like, what's in it for me? And then you show, you do it or whatever, ask them to come again and they turn around and walk away. That could be low motivation, right? Like, I don't know. Not enough in it for me. And your high motivation is like, yes, I'll do it again. I'll do it again. How can I help you? The eye contact, the looking, the watching. What can I do? Tell me what to do. What's next? What's next? Those are our what's next puppies compared to, what's in it for me exactly? Let me figure that out and then I'll decide if I want to do it. Laura joined late. Welcome, Laura. She's wondering, what the heck is the topic today? The topic today is going through the 12 temperament traits that we test for. What does it mean for clients? What does that puppy look like based on these 12 traits? All right, we are on nerve strength. So what the heck now? We have assertiveness and confidence and nerve strength. And I know this can be really in mentoring and coaching and teaching other breeders this test, sometimes trying to figure out which one is it can take some time. Nerve strength simply is when we stack stress, we all reach our threshold at some point. You do and I do, right? Like you can only take so much shit and then you're done. That's literally nerve strength. But when we're stacking stress during the test, we will stack stress. And I'm watching, are there any stress signals? Does the puppy need to shake it off and we need to de-stress with their toy or some play and then continue the test, right? So we're looking at this because this, again, is very, very important in placing with more unpredictable homes and or, of course, all of our working dogs. And we do produce and, our entire kennel, we focus on service dogs, facility dogs, and therapy dogs. So that's a huge, huge focus for me. If you're breeding for something else, some of these may tweak a little bit and change based on what you're looking for. So, of course, we love high motivation. We love a good amount of nerve strength so that we can, especially if we're going to ask dogs to work out in public. Out in public is nothing but unpredictability, and out in public is nothing but stacking stress. So if we have a high confident dog, good, we can manage stress better. And then if we have good nerve strength, the level of how much stress that we can stack is higher. That's better for the dog. Like we're truly honoring the dog. If we start to see the puppy fall apart a little bit, it's, just telling the new owners, educating. When you start seeing stress signals like this, you just got to pull back a little bit. Like they've reached a level. Like, okay, I'm done. Like time out. How do they display stress signals? Yawning is number one. They don't yawn because they're tired. When your dog yawns, they're literally telling you, I'm reaching my threshold. So if my puppies yawn, I will honor and respect them and I will remove them. So it's different than confidence because they did it, they're there, they're doing it, but they've reached their threshold. All of dogs have a threshold, right? Holly doesn't like people with cigarette smoke, so she'll reach her threshold and become more uncomfortable with something like that and let me know and give me stress signals. Avoidance is another. They turn and look away. Like, I'm done, I'm done. That's how they communicate to each other. When they turn and look away, that's a clear sign, I am done. So honoring their stress signals and managing them will just continue to build trust and respect. We're not rescuing. Do you see the difference of like picking up a puppy and rescuing them because they're scared of one thing? This is stacking stress. Yes, Stephanie, panting can be a stress signal. You may have to figure it out, depending how warm it is and what the physical activity has been. But yeah, if we got puppies, even in the evaluation, they start panting, they start whining, they start looking to get out of the like, where can I get out of this fence? Hey, where's the door, please? I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. Yawning is another big one as well. How is nerve strength stable is associated to confidence, sight, and sound, and those are adjustable. Because nerve strength, you're never going to change where their threshold is. I have never been able to. I have found that if they have medium nerve strength, they're always going to have medium nerve strength. And the goal is to manage it and know, so you know where that is moving forward. It doesn't mean if they have medium nerve strength, it doesn't mean they can't even be a service dog. But what I need to know is, like, do you live in a big city? How much is the dog going to be out in public? How much are you asking for the dog to work? So if that's pretty high, like we live in a city, the dog's going to work all day with me. Yeah, let's get a higher nerve strength for a more stressful lifestyle. All right, touch tolerance. There's two different aspects to this. We work really hard with our 10-step puppy handling from the very beginning, something I devised to ensure that dogs are compliant to touch. So our 99.9% of our dogs are compliant to touch. And if they're not, that's definitely a concern, and they're placed accordingly where they won't need a lot of touch, or little kids with unpredictable touch, right? So we have found when you do the 10-step handling correctly, starting from the time they're born to the time they go home, they're compliant. You want to open their mouth, open their mouth. You want to clean their ears. You want a little kid falls on them or pulls their tail or they get stepped on, you got to get a sticker out of their paw. They're compliant. They have learned, whether I like it or not, I'm going to be compliant. What I need to know, of course, I need to know touch tolerance. How do they tolerate inappropriate, potentially, touch? I need to know, do they like it? This is incredibly important. Like, do they melt into you during improper touch? Like, like do whatever you want to me. I don't even care. It doesn't feel great. Like you're trying to get stuff out of my ear. Oh, but I love you. I love you. I love you. I want to know those puppies for young children, right? For facility dog work, we're going to be handled and pet and rubbed on and hugged. Like, hugging is such an improper language to use with dogs. But I'm looking for those puppies that don't care about that. They don't care that things are proper. They don't demand a certain level of respect in their personal space. How much do they love being handled? Completely comfortable or not. So facility, therapy, young children, I definitely need to know this. Also for clients that really desire and want a more physical relationship with dogs. You know how some dogs are like, they're just fine if they can see you, but they don't need to sit on you. They don't need to lay next to you. They don't need to touch you. For some people, that's, it hurts their feelings, honestly. They need that physical connection with their dog, the dog on their lap, like always be touching. So we can look at touch tolerance, not just tolerance, right? But how much do they enjoy it? So Jenna will pick them up in the evaluation, and we will go through the 10-step handling. And I'm looking for, what's the difference between being compliant and enjoying it? The puppy reciprocates if they enjoy it. They reciprocate by really melting into them and nestling their face in their neck. They're relaxed. They're wagging their tail. They lick. I'm unforgiving of you tugging on my tail. In fact, I'm going to even kiss you. Like, I just love you. Just touch me however you want. I just love you. Like, they will absolutely, it's very different. And the puppies that are compliant, like, they're okay, fine, do what you got to do. But hey, can we go play now? So looking at touch tolerance is really important. How tolerant for one is important. And then more so, we take it one step further. And how much do they enjoy? That inappropriate touch. Energy level. This is a stable trait. Nothing I've ever been able to do other than choosing potentially different breeding parents can affect energy level. And a lot of it's breed dependent. Breeders have spent their life and hundreds of years breeding for certain traits, right? When you start looking at these, like if it's going to be a guard dog, we need very different traits than a facility dog. So like my program, we're fine tuning the lines to continue to get not just touch tolerant puppies, but puppies that love it and puppies that are high motivation and good confidence, right? They want to work and learn and please because that's my focus. So again, keep in mind, it depends on the breed. Energy level, there are some energy levels that, you know, in dogs, that's what they were bred to do. So know your breed first and foremost. Like, don't expect to get a breed that literally is high energy and needs to work all the time. That will never, ever change. You just have to manage it. It's not a 1 mile walk, it's a 5 mile walk, people. So are you willing to get up earlier and walk the dog? Are you willing to give up on some movie nights and eating out to walk the dog? Are you willing maybe to have a dog walker come in if you work long hours? High energy dog does not do well with someone that works a lot. They don't. It's unfair to the dog and it's unfair to you. And then they have so much energy, they need to expel it somehow, and you're not going to like it. They will work so damn hard to completely redecorate your front room. Like, they're so proud and they're working so hard. They're getting the cushions off. They're opening them up. They're taking all the foam inside and they're spreading it all throughout the house. Like, they're freaking proud, man. You come home and they'd be like, look, like I was working so hard. And you come in and yell as we would, right? And then the dog's like, oh, hell, mom's upset. They still don't equate it to that. But their feelings are hurt, man. They accomplished something. They need a damn purpose. Energy is, again, one of the top reasons why dogs are rehomed. So really know your breed, number one, and then make sure you're buying from an empowered breeder that gauges energy. It's really, really important. Lifestyle, what you need, what you want. Are you able? These are questions I have with my clients. Like, hey, this is a high energy puppy. Are you able and do you understand what that means to live with this puppy so you can honor their innate need, right? Energy. How much? How do we see that in the video? How much is that like the buzzing around? What's the movement? Are they stopping at all? There's some puppies that literally don't stop the entire time. Like, it's like a wind up, man. Like, they're running and cruising. They don't stop or sit the entire time. Like, they are on high energy. And then there's others that will stop and they're more pensive and they think and they watch and they take it in. And there's just a lot. They'll lay down. There's a lot less energy in that puppy overall. Do be advised, though, energy can be influenced during a test. So it's not only the test, but you have to work with a breeder that understands. Like, hey, this puppy is high energy. You may not have seen it on this test. Or more so than not, this puppy looks low energy, but they are absolutely not. They were tired that day. Unfortunately, it was too close to feeding time and they ate and they were a little full. It's right before nap time. So understanding that as well and making sure that your breeder understands, a lot of these can be skewed based on a lot of other things, right? And if you have a low confidence puppy, they're not going to come in running around like they own the place. So their confidence could affect their energy. And again, that's something your breeder will know so that you get an accurate read on this puppy. All right, sight and sound sensitivity. This is an unstable trait. This is why as breeders, we start making loud noises around 20 days old when their ears open. It used to be breeders kept puppies under quiet and dark spaces for so long, thinking they protect them like a baby, right? They need to sleep, it needs to be quiet. That's the exact opposite. So what we found is by actually having loud sounds and music playing and the vacuum and the nursery cleaning, and they're exposed to laughing and crying and whatever's going on, the different types of movies, different types of sounds. Like, we play a cartoon sounds very different than a romance or, again, a war movie. They're all very different sounds. We really work on heavy males in a movie because we don't have a lot of males that work for us. They're hearing females all the time talking, but it's very different from a male. So we're like, we got to find some strong male lead movies, and we play those. We play tracks of different sounds, over 333 sounds on our CD that they listen to as well. Firecrackers, a gunshot, an airplane, kids laughing, a baby crying, bells dinging, knocking, whatever. They are exposed to a lot of different sound. Toy poodles, because it's really important to understand their breed, toy poodles are already naturally sight and sound sensitive, as well as very tenderhearted, naturally. So we work really hard knowing that when we use our toy poodle sire, that we work with those puppies even more with sound sensitivity. So it's something that can, not after 16, I say they're unstable or stable and we have a hand, that's typically only till 16 weeks old. Then the brain development is really solid at that point. We can't change the puppy anymore. Everything after that is remedial training. So, yep, you're sound sensitive, but what I need to work on is that you trust me. So you hear a sound you don't like, you startle, yes, you're fine, and move on so that we can create that relationship, and that's what you want. Sight sensitivity is movement, which can also move into prey drive if they're excited by movement. So prey drive, you got to look at sight sensitivity too. If Jenna's kind of walking past and that excites more movement and they're biting at her feet. But the sensitivity part is what we're looking for under the sight sensitivity. It's not arousal, it's fear. So we do the umbrella because it's really unpredictable. Like, think about it from their point of view. We all should startle if something like blew up in our face, right? It made a noise, it popped, it was fast, it was big. Like, we all should startle. It is healthy to have some level of fear. What I look for is, do you recover within 3 seconds? Can we recover this puppy from the startle within 3 seconds? And if we can, I'm super happy with that. Like, we're not going to have a problem as long as the new owner continues to empower. So the umbrella pops open, woo, the puppy steps back and startles or turns away. Yes, come here. We move them back to the umbrella. Can we do it within 3 seconds? Will we have forward movement within 3 seconds? That's what I want to know. Okay. So yeah, I mean, at some point, some natural fear is really, really healthy. It will keep them alive. But with us using the yes word, building trust, right, and respect again, can we get them to recover within 3 seconds? That's what we're looking for. And if not, if they completely fall apart, that's something that clients definitely need to know as well. Like, this could be, make sure it doesn't really become an unhealthy fear. Just know that they will startle and continue really working with them. Now, I know you're going to be scared of everything, but you can recover. My Holly, who is therapy dog, crisis response dog, can go anywhere, anytime, is sight and sound sensitive. She will startle. But now we've worked together long enough that she'll just look at me and I'm like, you're fine. And then she's like, okay, like she trusts it. Like, all right, I'm fine. Mom said I'm fine. And mom's never been wrong. And that's what's important. I have never let her down. I've never told her she's fine. And then in a situation where I can't manage, that's one reason why I will never ever take my dogs to a dog park, because I can't assure their safety and they trust me to. I don't know what could happen with the dog and they're down at the other end of the dog park. Like, it's really important to me that my dogs always trust me. They know without a doubt I will never put them in a situation where they will, one, be uncomfortable or fail, or that I will become an unreliable leader. All right, so that's sight and sound sensitivity. Let me see questions here. Is that playlist available for certified breeders? Pia, I can look. It's on, I bought it. It was on Amazon. It was a CD, which then I ended up having to upload to my computer. So it's in my iTunes now. That's how I found it. Maybe they even allow it digitally now. Just remind me or email me. Stephanie, I feel like my pup came to me pretty sound noise tolerant, and then my house is usually so quiet that I reversed it because he had a hard time sleeping unless the noise of the house is quiet. Yeah, I mean, we always have to take into account, if we are a quiet home, we still have to continue exposing our puppies, especially within the first 16 weeks of their life, because a lot of this is still shaping and molding. We did our dogs a huge disservice with COVID, and it wasn't our fault, but our dogs paid dearly because they were bought during COVID. Everybody was kind of panicked puppy buying. I hear you. I see you. It's fine. Like, I get it. The problem is, so then you brought a dog in that you couldn't really continue to expose and socialize correctly. So now We brought these dogs in and we're lacking proper exposure, which is problematic. Then the second part is we never left home. Now we're all going back to work. Now we got a pile of dogs that never learned to be alone. Like, you can make any dog have separation anxiety, and that's one way how. You don't ever leave them. Again, there has to be that level of trust and respect. Go in the kennel. I will be home. I always will be home, and you're fine, kind of thing. And you have to be very matter of fact about it. And I talk to my clients on our virtual visit, and I tell them, look, you can't feel upset or feel badly about putting your dog into a kennel, because they're reading those emotions, and then they're like, well, what the shit? What's wrong with this kennel? Mom's not happy about the kennel. Now she's putting me in it. Like, holy crap. So it's just, they're already anxious anyway. Then you come home and you're excited and use an excited voice, and you touch and you talk and you create this excitement upon you coming home. So it's just it's a perfect storm of creating separation anxiety. Instead, matter of factly, the second day you have your puppy, even if you got to go sit in your car, go grocery shopping, you have to leave your puppy. I know I've had clients say, I'm going to take the first 2 weeks off and stay home with the puppy. That's fine, but you still have to leave the puppy. The puppy needs you to do that. You have to put them in their kennel, matter of factly, no emotion, give them something fun, safe and fun that they don't normally get only in their kennel to chew on, or like a raw bone. They're like, holy heck, this is like the best. Like, this kennel thing, I go in there and it dispenses the best treats. Yes, put me in my kennel, please. And mom loves it too. She's so excited. Puts me in the kennel and everything's fine. And then you come home, no touch, no talk, no eye contact, no creating anxiety upon arrival either, no creating unhealthy excitement either. Like, I literally, a little puppy, I'll bring to the back door, I'll open it, I'll say outside, and open the back door, I let them go out and go potty and whatever, and then love and affection and excitement when they're in a calm state of mind. It's not upon me coming or going. There's no emotion when I come and go, ever. And I have far more stable, neutral dogs because of it, very balanced. All right. Teresa, the evaluation for my Lambo is absolutely spot on, and his traits are perfect for our family. Thank you for the care and details given to each pup. They are treated like royalty by Fori. Thank you, Teresa. It means so much. We've worked really hard to get here. There's always stuff to learn. I still follow up. You'll get a form, if you haven't filled it out already, an email asking a lot of these things. Do you feel the evaluation is still correct? How so? And we keep in close contact with our clients. How big are they? What's their coat like? Have you had any health issues? What's your least favorite thing about your dog? Because look, we all are protective of our dog just like our kids. So if I said, do you have any behavior problems? Most of you would be like, no. And then you think it's a reflection on you. And it might be, but let's just be real so we can continue to improve as breeders. So I ask it, I'm giving you all a secret. I ask it as, what's your least favorite thing about the dog? And what's your favorite thing about the dog? And like, if it's pulling on the leash, that's your least favorite thing. Okay, that's training. That's you. I'm not worried about lines or making any changes, but if it's something else, like they're really fearful and we haven't been able to work over that, or they're reactive. But again, a lot of that really is training. But if I start to see a lot of that consistency with the same lines, that's something I need to know. All right, pray, play, all puppies. I mean, dogs are hunters, right? Like they use their powerful and special abilities to hunt, like, absolutely. But certain breeds have been selected and breeders continue to breed them because of their prey drive. Like, that was their main thing they're looking for. So absolutely, there are more breeds that have far higher prey drives than the breeds I breed. And I'm still breeding bird dogs. So there's still, golden retrievers and poodles. There's still a good amount of prey in them, as it's supposed to be. But what we need to really know, the important things are, is it a really high prey drive? So like in the evaluation, are they shaking and growling the toy? Like, that's a pretty high play, could be considered prey drive that young. So I'm just looking for that intensity. Then we also look for, you have something that high value. Do we see any signs of resource guarding? So it's not technically on here, but we check for that. Put our hand on the puppy. If they freeze, that's a concern. We want to make sure that is replicated to the client and how you manage that. So I have a plan and a system and things to do with the puppy. All puppies should have it anyway, so that there's never a chance of guarding or gulping. in a puppy. Prey drive, we want to look for, it can be difficult with little kids, and especially if they're excited by movement. Think about kids. They run and they scream. Man, come on. Of course that puppy's going to chase you and bite you in the butt. Like, that's literally how you're playing, and that's how they play with each other, right? So you're just a litter mate. Kids give off different energy. They sound different and they move different. So they are literally like a different form of a litter mate for a dog. That's why they're like, they'll just pull your kid's hair and bite their butt, and they don't necessarily treat you that way. So you have to train your kids and train the dog and have a lot of structure and boundaries in your home. I think it's easiest by having a sectioned off fencing area for so many different reasons. Puppies potty train easier that way. They learn their place in the family. They learn they have to have quiet time. And then that way they're not creating bad habits. They can't be pulling the toilet paper when they're in their pen, per se. You know, they can't be chasing the cat and being naughty if they're in their pen. And then we love tether training. When they get a little bigger, they're just tethered to you all the time. Like, it's a phenomenal way to create trust. It's a phenomenal way to create an understanding of the leash and how to walk and be with the person. They start to pick up on your body language. Like, my dogs know the way I apparently like shift my body weight or move my feet that I'm going to be standing for a while, and they just automatically go in a long down stay. They're like, all right, mom's sitting here for a while. So prey drive really is important when placing with little kids, or the people that are concerned about that already. Like, if they're concerned about their cat, and a lot of it, again, is training, but these are important traits to know. I actually prefer a little bit higher prey drive for our diabetic alert dogs. I want that determination and that tracking with the nose, because that's what will save someone's life. A question: if you can't test on the day 52, is it better a few days before or after? Not many, so I assume standard or whatever. I've still had really good success testing at day 50. 49, 50, 51. And it just depends when your puppies are going home. I really want to make sure the evaluations get out to the clients and they have time to look it all over before they come in and select their puppy. I think that's really important. I also really believe in transparency. Everybody gets every evaluation video of every puppy in that litter, even if I'm pulling them for service dog work. Look, see exactly why I pulled this dog for service dog work, right? Like, you can see. I'm very transparent in that way. Every client gets all of the videos for every puppy. And I tell clients, like, go through your list, read the compatibility report our software now produces. I'll show you in a minute, giving you a guide. You know, there's no black and white. You can't make a puppy black and white like you can't make us, our temperament, our personality black and white. So, but it's giving people, that's why we focus on these 12. I think these are the most important temperament traits that influence the success in their new home. Human focus. When a puppy's in the evaluation, how much are they focused on the human? Oh, the human moved. I got to follow the human. Oh, where did the human go? Oh, I dropped my toy to be with the human. How much is their focus on the human? Or we put a pretend dog in there. How much are they going and checking in with that dog? Will you play now? Hey, will you play now? Or get reassurance and go behind the dog and sit? Are they getting reassurance from the dog more than they want from the human with confidence? That's a great puppy to place in a home with someone that already has a really good, well-balanced dog. That puppy will absolutely flourish because they already seek reassurance from the dog over the human. But yeah, human focus is huge for therapy and facility, and for people. Like, it really becomes this, like, you want that dog that is, you are their whole world, and you can't leave a room without them knowing, and they have to be laying right outside the shower, and you're trying to, like, push the door to get out. You've got them right next to you, sleeping, like, they're always with you. We want a high human focused puppy. That's what they want, and that's what you want. And that's the beautiful thing about these evaluations, is because when we get it right, that's when the magical match happens. That's when the beauty of the relationship between human and canine absolutely is innate and beautiful and life changing. This is why simple things like this. There are people that don't want, like, I don't want my dog. Oh, like, I don't want a needy dog. Like, see, everybody has one. I cannot stand a needy dog. Okay, well, let's not give you a human focused dog either, right? And let's maybe not as high motivation either. They get you more independent. They're happy doing their own thing, whether you're there or not. You got to work long hours one day. They're fine as long as all their needs are met. You both are on the same damn page. You both want the same thing. So win-win. Tender-hearted. This one's been more difficult for people to understand because you think it's how much the puppy will love you or bond with you, and it absolutely has nothing to do with that. In our test, we have the tester, for me it's Jenna, fall down on the floor and throw a fit. It has to be intense and it has to last for a little while. And this puppy starts processing, like, is the human broken? Is the human playing? And so I want to see that, how that plays out. I need to know that, number one, if we're placing with a child with autism or Down syndrome and they do have fits because they can't articulate everything they want. If that puppy thinks they're playing, that's not good. I don't want the puppy to run over there and they're pulling on Jenna's hair and they're pulling on her socks and they're trying to get in her face and bite her. That puppy is not in distress. That's not a tender-hearted dog. And so we need a little bit more tender-hearted because I don't want them being attacked either, like they think it's play. But I also don't want the extreme. And if the puppy doesn't attack the person, they don't care. Like some of them would like go get their toy and just lay there and chew on their toy. I'm like, all right, that's fine in a home that's really, really unpredictable. Tender-heartedness really, really means for us in our program, how influenced is the puppy by unpredictable human emotion? And do you see how that can be really, really important? Because a puppy that is very, very influenced by unpredictable human emotion cannot be placed in a home where there is a lot of that. They literally feel responsible. They literally try to fix you. And it's too much pressure to put on a puppy. It's not fair. And so again, someone that requires an ESA for, severe anxiety, depression, I can't place that extremely tender-hearted puppy with you because what happens is, and I used to because it always seemed like this really tender fit, right? It seemed right. The problem is it's not, because then the puppy feeds off the anxiety, the puppy feeds off the depression, and they literally take it upon themselves and wonder, what can I do? What am I doing wrong? How can I fix my human? And that's really, really unfair to do. And then you have a puppy that's anxious and a human that's anxious, and now neither one of them can leave the house. So that's what that results in. So finding not or moderately tender-hearted is fine. Like, I'm concerned about you, but like, it's not life-changing. I can still go play fetch or whatever. We really need to know. And then I need to know, as well as with children with disabilities or crisis response work, where all it is intense human emotions. I placed one of my toughest placements was for a funeral home, a facility dog for a funeral home. You might think, well, why is that a hard placement? Like, I had to have not just touch tolerance, but like they love to be manhandled, like people hugging and crying on them. Every single person that comes into the funeral home is grieving, right? So every human interaction they have during the day is intense human emotion. But I also needed human focus, and I also needed high motivation, but not tender-hearted at all, but wanted to be with people. Like, okay, it's fine, like hug me, whatever. Like, didn't feel responsible for all of that. He's comforting, but it doesn't break him. That was one of my hardest placements because I really needed some things, and sometimes they don't always go together. I'm very, very incredibly proud of that placement and my ability to evaluate so that was a win-win for my dog and for the funeral home and for him being there. So that's what tender-hearted is. It's, again, not the ability to attach or bond or love you or want to be with you. It's how influenced the puppy is to unpredictable human emotions. And then the other thing we look at, like after Jenna becomes unreliable, unpredictable, like she broke on the floor, I don't know what's happening. If she gets up and walks away, will the puppy still follow her? Or they're like, I'm out. I don't know what's going on. You're broken and I don't want to be a part of that anymore. Do you see how important that's to know as well? Dog friendliness. I'd say this is one of the least important, but it can be important for certain clients. This one can be hard to gauge. As at 8 weeks old, we do use real neutral dogs, and then we just kind of sit and watch how much focus. It's really kind of the same thing. How focused are they on the dog. There are 3 things your dog will be focused on. Environmentally focused, like what's that? What's that? What's that? They got to go meet everybody. They got to go smell everything. They got to explore everything before they can work. Right? We know those dogs. A little more difficult. I don't want to place those for therapy dog work because then the client has to do all this extra work just to get them to go visit with people. Like because that's their need. That's their innate need. I got to check everything out and very environmental. Who's that? Who's that? I need to meet them. What is that? I'm going to go smell that. I got to go check this out, especially in new situations. So that's something you want to know. So they're either environmentally focused, human focused, or dog focused. And so if they're like, literally, I love these people too. They're so cute. I'm buying a puppy for my dog, right? Okay, we want to make sure this dog is very then dog focused and desires that deep connection with another dog as well. We also look like assertiveness and submissiveness, but that can be very tricky to gauge. An 8-week-old puppy, that can really change based on life experience. All it takes is one negative interaction with another dog, and that's all going to kind of change. I also need to know placing for therapy dog work. If they're really dog focused, it's really difficult because when you work for a therapy dog team, usually you're working with other members at the same time. So you're all going in with your dogs. And if I got the dog, this is like, they want to play with those dogs more than visit with the people. It's embarrassing and we're not honoring the dog and the handler's frustrated. And do you see how something that simple does not work? Because the dog just wants to play with the dogs. They're so dog friendly. It's like that's their jam, man. That's what they want more than anything. And you're feeling like, oh my God, everybody's looking at me like I can't handle this dog. I can't get their attention and they won't go visit like I'm asking, or they kind of half-ass visit and they're just like, where did the dogs go? Ma, where are the dogs? Where are the dogs? Let's go find the dogs. So we do look at how important that dog is to them during testing, because there's some important things to know with that. So there you have it. There's our 12 temperament traits we have found over years of raising puppies and placing puppies in really important placements. These are the most important for us in our program and our mission and our focus, as well as for many other breeders. Even look at how much of this is just placing with the family or the right person as well. So get to know your breeder. Make sure they're using, the Empowered Badass Breeder evaluation, and this is exactly what you will get. And then furthermore, this is what our software does for breeders, especially if they're new. Let me pop this up here real quick. So take a look. It shows all of the 12 traits. It will tell you how to test. So this one, for example, sound sensitivity. Make a loud noise your puppy will be unfamiliar with, such as we use the Fisher-Price toy popper, right? Ensure the pup's attention is on the sound and not the movement. Then you can score it low, medium, high. And when you click on medium, it will tell you, well, what did the dog do? If you click on low, what did the dog do? If you click on high, what did the dog do? So I'm giving a score description. And then what I love, it's not perfect, it's just a guide. When we input all of that in there, it gives us a compatibility percentage. So this puppy specifically, to be placed as a therapy dog, compatible 79%, as opposed to pet, no kids, owners, work 67. So clearly, see, high human focus. That puppy needs their human. So that's not an ideal placement. Pets or kids under 10 at home, 73% compatibility report. Look at kids over 10, 83. Retired active, 87. That's the ideal home for this puppy. It literally just runs the algorithm for you. Truly help honor our puppies, give a voice to our puppies in their placement, and honor our clients. What do you need? What do you need to fulfill? We're all getting a dog for different reasons. And so letting your breeder know that will help guide. You see all the intricacies and why it could be important to place. Yes, I absolutely recommend this puppy or not. We ultimately still let people pick. They get all this information. They get the compatibility report. They get to see the videos. And what I have found is, even though we haven't done a good job articulating our traits and understanding them, right? What I found is really powerful for clients, even if they don't know what any of this means, is to watch them. It's one puppy at a time doing the same test. And you have this you're drawn to a puppy for a specific reason. And I think that's really powerful too. So letting people see, people say, I just loved the way the puppy interacted with Jenna. No, so then I know, okay, they don't want high assertive because they probably didn't love that interaction, right? Very probably tender-hearted, love the handling, super human focus, constantly looking to Jenna. It already told me, like I already know based on something that I love the way the puppy interacted with Jenna. So you know, and that's what really empowering is all about. You know, I'm empowering not only our puppies, but other breeders to be able to do this, and empowering buyers. Like, this is how you need to buy. This is why, this is what our dogs deserve. They truly deserve to have a voice in their placement. Think about for a minute if you choose a puppy right after they're born at one day based on color and gender only. Can you see how much we're missing out on really knowing this puppy? For you and for them, what are you willing? What do you want? What's your ideal puppy in your life right now in this moment? What do you need most? And it's amazing because it always aligns with the puppy. They're getting what they need and want, and you're getting what you need and you want. And that truly is, like I say, healing hearts and changing lives through the power of a dog. It's that connection. It's getting that right match, that right fit. And that is what is so important to us. So thank you for being a part of this journey, for supporting me through this journey of giving of our puppies a voice in their placement. Super excited to share kind of what we're looking for and how that translates to you. Just the more we know, the better off it is, right? And our goal is to stop puppy mills. You're not going to get any of this information from the pet store, right? If they don't know anything about the puppy, it's because they came from a puppy mill. Nobody put this kind of time and effort and energy into the proper placement for them. Backyard breeders are not doing that either. And so really asking these questions, do you do an evaluation, a temperament evaluation? Do you help guide the match and the placement so it's all right? And if there's like crickets on the other end of the line, you don't buy from these people. Simple as that. You want someone that's honoring not only the moms and the dads, they're specifically selected based on these traits for my breeding program. The goal is that they love this process as much as we do as well. And there's some that don't. Think about really high energy, high prey drive. They don't want to be here having puppies. Like, they got shit to do, right? So I would never ask a high prey, high energy dog to do this work. So we also honor our parents in this process as well. So thank you, everybody. Happy Friday. If you have any other questions, of course, drop me a message on email or on social media. Happy Friday, everybody. Bye. Oh, wait, I got to give you my tagline. I was just teaching breeders about this. I'm Jeanette with 4E Kennels. We're only healing hearts and changing lives through the power of a dog, but we are also changing breeding from bad to, let's be real, badass. And I'm taking a whole heck of a lot of other breeders with me on this journey to honor our dogs, to get our dogs what they truly deserve, to honor our humans, to get the right placement as well, so that you're not faced later on down the road of having to rehome. Like, that is the ultimate goal. Happy Friday, everybody. Bye.